It's that time again, my friends, where me and a few buddies look back at some of the fondest memories we have had when it comes to our glorious hobby of gaming. So join us as we blow off the cobwebs of our minds and explore some of our gaming memories. So I'll kick things off with something that has been ingrained in my mind as the sound of absolute failure that comes from one of the best driving games ever, Gran Turismo 4. Now, if you're familiar with the Gran Turismo series, then you know about the license events in the game. And for those that are not, all you need to know is that they could be really fucking hard. As a kid, I failed a lot at this game. Well, it would be more accurate to say I failed at most games as a kid, but Gran Turismo 4 is special. It's the first game to really get under my skin and rattle my skeletal structure. And it wasn't just the constant failures. It was the music they decided to use. This isn't a joke. They actually used Oh Yeah by Yellow. You know, the Duffman song from The Simpsons. And this song, which should be a weird and funny song by most accounts, has now turned into a tune that calls you out for how bad you are. As if you were expected to fail. It gloats in your face. This got to me. Heck, it still gets to me even when I went back to get the footage for this video. Whenever I lose, do something wrong, or just straight up fail, this is what starts playing in my head. This game has traumatized me. But it's also what helped make me real competitive. I was not going to be bested by a game that was making fun of me for being inadequate. No. It lit a fire within my very being, and you better believe I beat them licenses. Granted, with the aid of my brothers, because we all played Gran Turismo 4, and not all gold, which I'm mildly ashamed to admit, but bronze is still a fucking pass. But I'm happy I experienced this. Sure, it made me really angry. However, it taught me if you persevere, you'll eventually get to where you want to be. Sure, it might take a while and kick the shite out of you psychologically, but I did it, and that's all that matters. Now, on to the next buddy to share their gaming memory.
What's going on, everybody? My name is RadBash, and special thanks to Pat from Frames for inviting me to be a part of this collaboration video. And we were asked to talk about our favorite gaming memories, and I had to talk about the Christmas I got the SNES Mini. Now, with the SNES Mini, it comes preloaded with a bunch of games, which everybody knows. But my mom and she raised me on the Super Nintendo. That was what I grew up playing, you know, Street Fighter and things of that nature. And actually, the Christmas I got it, when my mom, you know, had given it to me, she didn't realize Street Fighter was on it. So when we popped it open, we decided, hey, we got to have a Street Fighter tournament between me, my girlfriend, my stepdad, my sister, and my mom. And so it ended up coming down to everybody just tearing each other apart. It was back and forth, controllers being passed around, and the cords aren't very long, so we're standing up against the TV, like real friggin' close to it, so that we can, you know, see and fight each other. And it ends up, towards the end, it's just my mom and I. She's Chun-Li, and I'm Ken, and it's just back and forth. I win one, she wins one, I win one, she wins one, and it's getting heated. We're getting, like, frustrated. We're trying to, one has to win. I can't remember what the goal was, but it wasn't being finished. We did that all day, back and forth, just trying to like fight and win. I ended up losing, and to this day, I claim that I let her win. She claims that I did not, and that she won because of whatever. But no, Mom, if you ever see this, no, I let you win. I was tired of playing all day. But yeah, I love the SNES Mini. I loved that experience, and I think that's why the SNES Mini holds a special place in my heart, because that was one of the best Christmases I've ever had. It brought the family together. But yeah, I can't wait to see everybody else's parts in this video, and again, thank you, Pat, for inviting me on, and like always, guys, stay radical.
A gaming memory that lives rent-free in my head is the beginning of Fallout 4. Starting the game minutes before the bombs dropped, and exploring a pristine world. No risk of radiation, and just getting on with the day like it was any other. For a player, there's the constant feeling of dread, as we know what will happen. But for first-time players, they don't know when it will happen. Events marked on the calendar, memos and lists on the fridge, it's all pretty normal. Just as you feel a sense of calm and comfort, the Vault-Tec rep rings the bell. which throws some anxiety to the player. Again, for first timers, this may seem like just an event to introduce Vault-Tec, but veterans will know what comes next. Hearing the news, seeing the neighborhood spring to life in a panicked state, and the sudden appearance of military ushering us towards a nearby vault that we only just signed up to. Though it would have been a pretty short game if we didn't. Getting onto the platform and putting all your trust into the official looking people around us really gives a sense of terror, especially now we know what the vaults were really used for. Obediently following orders and getting into the cryo chamber, putting faith in the team that you'll be kept safe. Then the flash forward. We don't know how long we've been asleep for, but some random people come along to take our son, with our partner taking a bullet trying to save him. Then back to black, reinforcing the confusion and mystery of the game. Waking up again, we have no idea how much time has passed, or what happened to the others in the vault, let alone the world. It's the total sense of confusion we feel, alongside wanting to know what Bethesda have in store for us. Bethesda's step-out moments are always so well done, aside from the stack of DLC quests that always use this time to pop up all at once. This is no different. The awesome moment, I mean. Looking down on what was once our neighborhood, now in ruin, dead trees and, well, a wasteland. Going back to our old house, seeing everything exactly the same yet completely different, even down to the Grognak comic. The mirror we used minutes ago in the game to make our character, now surrounded by rust and ruin. Sean's crib now empty and falling apart, with the mobile our partner fixed broken once again. Looking out the same window we did before, except the view is totally different now. It's slightly depressing, but also a familiar feeling if you've played the previous games. We're now back in a time we know and love as a player, where chaos reigns and we can get away with almost anything. Being back in pre-war America feels almost alien, as we only see glimpses of it in the other games. Actually being there is crazy. Mixed emotions is an understatement.
Yo, YouTube, what's good, bruv gang, what's good, and we are back with another collaboration video. Huge shout out to my man Frames for having me take part in this. Without further ado, let's get straight into my gaming memory. So over the years, other than games like Pokemon Emerald and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, just to name a few, one game that has never left my memories and a game I pretty much never shut up about is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. Honestly, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3 was a massive part of my childhood, and just like most around the time, I was absolutely infatuated with anything to do with Dragon Ball Z. The reason I think I remember Budokai 3 so vividly is because back in 2004 when the game was released, which was a whopping 19 years ago, I think I was around 8 years old and had sadly caught chickenpox, so I had around a month or so of school while my older brother took care of me. So I remember we had gone into a store called Awesome Games, which sadly doesn't exist anymore, and my brother had picked up Budokai 3. Now I didn't have too much knowledge about Dragon Ball Z at the time, but my brother used to watch it heavily, and I would pretty much just watch cartoons around that time. But after playing Budokai 3 with my brother, man oh man did this game turn me into a fan. I turned into an absolute Dragon Ball Z fanatic after playing Budokai 3. So every day while being off sick, I would look forward to playing the game with my brother, or even going out to buy Dragon Ball Z movies or DVDs to watch, which was so awesome. After playing Budokai 3 pretty much every day, I watched pretty much every episode of the show, and it easily became one of my favourite animes of all time. Now Budokai 3 is a game heavily stuck out to me because of its fast-paced combat. Being able to charge up and turn into a Super Saiyan, for example, for my young 8-year-old brain, it really made me feel like I was Goku or Vegeta. Now the one thing that I can definitely remember about this game is getting my ass absolutely handed to me by my brother. Doing the clashes where you would do a Kamehameha or Gallic Gun at the same time, for example, where you would essentially need to destroy your analog stick to come out on top, was so fun to me. For me personally, Budokai 3 is honestly the first game I can say I genuinely wanted to get good at, and I played it pretty much every day just to get better. So the one thing that I absolutely loved about the game was the soundtrack, and it's something I still listen to heavily to this day. Each battle stage had that jamming rock soundtrack that just added so much more to the battles, making them feel more intense and like you were actually playing inside the anime. So after playing Budokai 3, I went on to play all of the Dragon Ball Z fighting game entries to come, and with the announcement of the newest Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game that was announced, I really hope that the game is a return to the game's roots. So for me personally, out of all the Dragon Ball Z game entries, Budokai 3 will always remain at the top of the pile, and is a game that I have nothing but fond memories of, and is a game that will stick with me for the rest of my life.
And that's all, folks. From games traumatizing us to lying to ourselves when we lose to our mammy in a video game. It's okay, Rad. I know the feeling. If we keep saying to ourselves we let our mammies win, then it will become true, and the pain will go away. Hopefully. I hope you guys enjoyed this, as I think it's so beautiful to hear people's gaming memories like this. And if you have any memories to share in the comments below, always love reading your guys' memories. A special thanks to my buddies for coming on and sharing their memories. Really sound lads that you should go and check out. Well, until next time guys, take her handy.